2026 Honda CB Unicorn is finally here. Full review, design, performance and what Honda could be planning. What if Honda took one of its most recognizable commuter motorcycles and gave it a fresh 2026 identity? Well, today on BikeFusion, we're taking a closer look at the 2026 Honda CB Unicorn, a motorcycle that has been generating plenty of attention among Honda fans and everyday riders. But before we get started, there is one important thing to clear up. The CB Unicorn is primarily associated with markets outside the United States, and it is not currently listed in Honda's official US motorcycle lineup. So if you're watching from America, think of today's video as a detailed look at what this motorcycle represents and why a bike like the Unicorn could be interesting to American riders. And trust me, there's a lot to talk about. Let's start with the name. The Honda Unicorn has built its reputation around a simple formula: reliable engineering, comfortable riding, practical performance, and an uncomplicated ownership experience. Instead of trying to be the loudest or fastest motorcycle in the segment, the Unicorn has traditionally focused on something much more important for everyday riders: being dependable every single day. And that philosophy is exactly what makes this motorcycle interesting. Design. Starting with the design, the CB Unicorn has a clean street bike appearance rather than an extreme supersport look. The overall shape is designed around practicality. You get a comfortable riding position, a relatively slim motorcycle profile, and styling that doesn't scream for attention but still looks modern enough for everyday urban riding. For riders who prefer a motorcycle that can work for commuting during the week and casual weekend riding, that approach makes a lot of sense. From the front, the motorcycle carries a simple and purposeful appearance, while the fuel tank gives the bike a more substantial street bike character. Move toward the side and you can see the balance between the engine, fuel tank, seat, and rear section. There's no unnecessary visual drama here. It's a functional design with a little bit of Honda's traditional styling personality. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons the Unicorn name has remained recognizable. Engine and performance. Now let's talk about the heart of the motorcycle. The Unicorn platform is associated with a single-cylinder engine designed primarily for smooth, usable performance rather than outright speed. The current CBF 160 Unicorn specification listed by Honda's Middle East site uses a 160cc air-cooled, 4-stroke engine, with a claimed maximum output of 13.8 horsepower at 8,000 revolutions per minute. Those numbers aren't designed to compete with a high-performance motorcycle. And that's not the point. The real advantage is everyday usability. For city traffic, commuting, short highway trips, and normal urban riding, a motorcycle in this class can offer a very manageable combination of performance and efficiency. Twist the throttle and you're looking for smooth acceleration rather than an aggressive launch. The power delivery should feel approachable, which is especially useful for newer riders and people who simply want a motorcycle that's easy to live with. And for an American audience, here's an interesting question. Would a simple 160cc Honda make sense in the United States? For some riders, absolutely. Not everyone needs a 600cc or 1000cc motorcycle. Some riders want something lightweight, economical, easy to maneuver, and inexpensive to operate. That's where a motorcycle like the Unicorn becomes interesting. Ride and comfort. Now let's move to comfort. A motorcycle can have an amazing engine, but if it's uncomfortable after 30 minutes, the whole experience changes. The Unicorn's philosophy is much more focused on everyday riding. The upright riding position makes it easier to navigate city streets, while the relatively straightforward chassis and suspension setup are intended to keep the motorcycle predictable. And that's important when you're riding through traffic. You don't want a bike that feels nervous every time you encounter a rough road or unexpected bump. You want something that feels stable, controlled, and easy to understand. The Unicorn's suspension setup and larger road-oriented wheels also contribute to its practical personality. Honda's listed specifications include telescopic front suspension and a rear monoshock setup. This isn't supposed to be an extreme adventure machine. It's a practical street motorcycle. Brakes and safety. When it comes to stopping power, the Unicorn takes a more practical approach. The specifications associated with the current Unicorn platform include a front disc brake with ABS and a rear drum brake. For daily riding, that's a sensible combination. And ABS is especially important because unexpected situations can happen anywhere. Wet roads, traffic suddenly stopping, an animal crossing the street, or a driver changing lanes without warning. Modern riders expect safety technology, and ABS is one of the features that can make a genuine difference when you need it most. Fuel economy and daily use. Now here's where a motorcycle like the Unicorn can become really attractive. Fuel economy. We all know that fuel prices can make motorcycle ownership expensive, especially if you're commuting every day. A smaller displacement single-cylinder motorcycle can potentially offer a much lower running cost than a larger performance-focused motorcycle. That makes the Unicorn philosophy particularly attractive for students, commuters, delivery riders, and anyone who wants transportation without turning every trip into an expensive event. And that's the beauty of this type of motorcycle. You don't have to think about it constantly. You simply get on, start the engine, ride to work, ride home, and repeat. Technology. Of course, the big question for a 2026 motorcycle is technology. Today's riders expect more than just an engine and two wheels. Depending on the market and final model specification, riders will be looking for features such as modern instrumentation, improved lighting, smartphone-friendly functionality, better braking technology, and updated emissions compliance. But this is where we need to separate confirmed information from online speculation. Honda has not currently announced a US market 2026 CB Unicorn through its official American motorcycle lineup, so claims about a US MSRP, American launch date, or specific US market equipment should be treated carefully. And that's actually important for BikeFusion viewers. We don't want to tell you something is officially available in America when it isn't. Price and value. Now let's talk about the part everyone wants to know about, price. At this point, there isn't an official US Honda CB Unicorn MSRP that we can confidently quote. And if Honda ever decided to bring a motorcycle like this to America, pricing would be one of the most interesting parts of the story. Because the biggest advantage of a small Honda isn't necessarily horsepower. It's value. A lightweight motorcycle with reasonable fuel consumption, simple mechanical architecture, Honda's reputation for reliability, and low running costs could attract a completely different audience. Think about riders who want their first motorcycle. Think about commuters. Think about college students. Think about riders who already own a big motorcycle but want something cheap and easy for every day. Transportation. That could be the market. Final verdict. So, is the 2026 Honda CB Unicorn the motorcycle that American riders should be waiting for? Well, let's be realistic. If you're looking for massive horsepower, aggressive acceleration, advanced electronics, and track-level performance, this probably isn't your motorcycle. But if your priorities are practicality, comfort, manageable performance, fuel economy, and everyday usability, the Unicorn formula makes a lot of sense. The Honda Unicorn has always been about doing the basics extremely well. It's not trying to intimidate you. It's not trying to break speed records. It's trying to be the motorcycle you can depend on every morning. And sometimes, that's exactly what a rider needs. So, if Honda ever officially brings a modern CB Unicorn-style motorcycle to the United States, I think it could create some serious interest, especially among riders who want an affordable, lightweight alternative to today's larger motorcycles. But for now, American riders should wait for official Honda USA confirmation before assuming that the 2026 CB Unicorn is actually coming to US dealerships. And that's our first look at the 2026 Honda CB Unicorn here on BikeFusion. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to BikeFusion, and turn on notifications because we're bringing you more new motorcycle reviews, upcoming models, first looks, and bike news. And now I want to hear from you. Would you buy a Honda CB Unicorn if Honda officially launched it in the United States? Would you choose this kind of lightweight commuter over a larger 500cc or 650cc motorcycle? Let me know in the comments. This is BikeFusion, and I'll see you in the next ride.